Don't you worry, baby. Sex appeal. That's what we're after. Okay, so finding the right proportion for her, still having her hair long. I do like this story. Now, don't take offense to this. But I had a client one time that was like in her late 60s, and she had this really long hair, and I said, okay, you got to cut your hair. You know, it's time. And so she went home, and her husband said, I told you I wanted your hair long. And she goes, and I told you I wanted your stomach flat. So when you lose the weight, I'll grow the hair.
Okay, you win.
I told you. So anyway, that was a good one. That was the best line I'd ever heard somebody say.
That's great.
Okay, turn the head the other way. Now we do a lot of dry cutting in the salon, and I know that Nikki, you did a dry cut yesterday, right?
Yep.
And also Katrina.
Here.
But Katrina did as well. And so here's my advice to you. There will be times when you, I don't want you to feel like if they miss the blow dry, they've missed the service. Your lady did not get a blow dry yesterday. You just began to flat iron her. Your lady got shampooed, your sister got shampooed, and then we did it, right? So what you do is you add value to the service. And we talked about that with like Susan's model yesterday, as well as your model yesterday. That how can we upgrade the service by showing her how to do the iron or showing her a little bit more, not just settling on a blow dry. So if you do a dry cut, now granted, she got stuck with a model that wanted nothing, but at the end of the day she did, you know, typical. But don't feel like, does she look better already?
Yes.
No.
And so, anyway, I don't want you to think that just because somebody skips out on that, it is a skip out on service. And I'm not encouraging you to say, well, we're not shampooing, you know, we don't do that. But you can sell it without it if you have to. And quite frankly, dry cutting is a really good way. See, I just follow the V, so I stay with that. Have a seat, sweetheart. And you can cut down on your service. Now, one thing that we do in the salon is going to be very different than what you're accustomed to doing. Is most of the time, if we're doing a really new or different color, we cut first and then we color. Now, before you freak out and say, oh my gosh, that's not how I look, you know, I want you to open your mind. If I'm doing a base color on your hair, and that's all I'm doing, then of course I can throw the base color on and then cut your hair. But if I'm trying to follow highlights to a haircut, how can I possibly color her hair before I do the haircut? So you can work quicker now, and you now know some good tricks that you will be able to do and be able to just quickly dry cut them or wet them. Like a lot of times I'll just wet them at the bowl. I won't shampoo it. Greg, I like to save money on that, you know, no sense in putting suds down the drain that don't need to go down the drain, right? Because I'm going to shampoo it after the color, correct? So, yeah. No, it's true. And plus it's a time thing, you know, so just to wet her is a really great way to quickly get where you want and get your shape in. Like Shannon, you cut the bob yesterday. Where are you?
She's shampooing.
Oh, Shannon, you cut the bob yesterday. Okay, who else? If Michelle, the girl that you cut, if you were going to color that and you wasted your time coloring it before you cut it, I mean, come on. You know, that would have been a big waste of time, would it not? So you got to be efficient and you got to add sizzle, not steak, to your work. And how I always say is, how many of you, be honest with me now, get freaky when you think you're running behind? Okay, well, we got to take the freaky out of it. Because let me ask you this. If you went to a new city, like Novi, and you were walking down the street, and you were trying to find a place to eat, right? You didn't know the area. You don't know anything. You're just walking down the street. You kind of look in the restaurant, don't you? You go, oh, that's busy. I bet that place is good, right? Or have you ever walked into a restaurant where you walk in and there's no one in there, and you kind of go, let's don't go here, you know, and you turn around and walk away, right? Energy breeds excitement. And when you have energy going on around your chair and people and, you know, you're doing things, people can get excited. Now, this is not to say that we're skipping on quality or love or anything like that. Because what's going to happen here is you're going to see that I'm doing Ann, and I'm going to do my other two ladies here, and I'm going to do them all at the same time, and they're not going to feel cheated, I promise you, because I'm going to make sure that they all feel like they're getting the best possible look, right? So you got to get that out of your mind, that if you're 5 minutes behind or 10 minutes behind. I mean, we ran a little over yesterday. Did anybody stress? There's only one guest that was a massage therapist that had to kind of go. But it was fun. It was energetic, was it not? Are you guys alive today?
Yes.
Was it not? It was yes. Okay. I know Mondays are hard. Sundays are fun days, Mondays are Mondays. Is she looking better?
Yes.
I was gonna say it's saucy.
Okay, so minor adjustments, that's all I did. Found the focal point and corrected what was wrong. That's all I did. That took, I'm not sure, but I was talking, but approximately 7 minutes. How many of you are able to add on services during the day? So you have a guest that comes in, she's down for a haircut, and you work in the color. So you work in the things, right? So is she going to feel slighted by that quick rendition if I had the mirror, and now I'm going to paint this haircut? She's not going to be looking at this. She's going to be looking at this. Okay, so you kind of have to get that out of your mind. Because I charge $100 for a haircut and I do it in 5 minutes, and I don't get complaints about that. Okay? All right.